Hello students, this is Dr. Monica working as Assistant Professor in Department of Dravyagun at CBPAX. I hope you are enjoying the e-learning module of Dravyaguna. Continuing our discussion on the Laghu Panchmul Dravyas, today we are going to study the last pair of Laghu Panchmul Dravya, that is Brati and Kantakari. As we have already discussed that the Brati and Kantakari, these are the constituents of Laghu Panchmul Dravyas. In so many formulations, especially the formulations which are used in respiratory tract disorders, which are stated in the classical Ayurveda text, you will find the term Bhratidvaya. So Bhrati and Kantakari, they are collectively described as Bhratidvaya in Samhitas. There is also a group which is known as Kantak Traya, which includes Brati, Kantakari and Agnidaman. This group is constituted on the basis of the identifying feature, that is the presence of Kantak in all these three plants. Also, Brati and Kantakari, they bear two types of flowers, and on the basis of flower colors, we can say that two type of Kantakari and Brati are there. One variety which bears the white flowers, and there is another variety which bears purple or pinkish color flowers. So the Kantakari plant which bears white colored flower, it is also known as Lakshmana. Lakshmana is given as a synonym of Kantakari which bears white color flower. And Lakshmana is a popular herb for Punsavan Sanskar. Punsavan Sanskar is a process which is used during the pregnancy to bear male child. Another variety of Brahati which bears white flower, that is botanically known as Solanum torvum. Botanically, Solanum indicum is Brahati and Solanum xanthocarpum is known as Kantakari. Both these plants, they belong to the Solanaceae family, and in Hindi, Brahati and Kantakari are known as Badi Kateri and Choti Kateri respectively. Indian nightshade or the poison berry is the popular English name of Brahati, whereas yellow berried nightshade is the English name for Kantakari. Samhitokt classification or the description of these two plants in the Samhita. Charak has mentioned both the Brahati and Kantakari plant in Shothar, Kanthe, Hikka Nigrahan, Angamard Prashman, Mahakashay. Kantakari is also mentioned in Kashar and Sheet Prashman Mahakashay or Dashimani of Charak Samhita. Sushruta has mentioned both the plants in Vratyadi and Laghu Panchmul Gan. Beside this, Kantakari is also included in Varunadi work of Sushrut Samhita. Synonyms or pryai of these plants. First we will discuss about the synonyms of Brahati. The word Vartaki, it is used for the plant of brinjal, and Brahati is morphologically similar to that of the brinjal plant, because both these plants, the brinjal plant and the Brahati, they belongs to the same family, and the plant of the same families, they look morphologically, they are similar looking. The another synonym Mehti, it is derived from the word Mehet, which is which specifies the bigger size of the plant. Rashtrika, the synonym Rashtrika means which is distributed throughout the country. That is, this plant is easily found in the Indian subcontinent. Another synonym Singhi, it specifies the sharp and piercing nature of the plant. It also specifies that the plant has many thorns. The synonym Mahoshri, it means that the plant is highly potent drug in respiratory tract disorders. which indicates the effectiveness of this drug in the treatment. The synonym kuli, it specifies that the fruit appears in cluster. There is another synonym hinguli, which indicates the resemblance of the fruit of Brihathi to that of the hingul dushpragharshani. The synonym dushpragharshani means that the plant is difficult to touch due to the presence of the thorns all over its surfaces, including the leaves and the stem and fruit. Now coming to the synonyms of Kantakari, the synonym Shudra, it means the smaller one. It specifies that the size of this Kantakari plant is small in comparison to that of Brihathi plant. The synonym Dusparsha, it indicates that the plant is difficult to touch because it is studded with enormous spines. The synonyms Kantalika and Kantakini, they also specifies the spinous nature of this plant. Dhavni means that the plant is a straggling herb, that is, it spreads on the ground easily. Chitraphala specifies that the fruit surface is variegated, or the surface of the fruit, it is patched with white lines. Nidigdika indicates that the plant is Shleshma Chedan in its action and it is used for respiratory tract disorders. Kasagni indicates that the plant or the plant part is used to subside the cas or the cough. Distribution. Both these plants, they are available in dry, hot, temperate regions of Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and these plants are available or distributed as wild growths in the wastelands, field, roadsides, and etc. Overall, both these plants, they are available or distributed, they are found throughout the Indian subcontinent. Morphology. As both the plant, they belongs to the same family, which is Solanaceae. So there are some morphological similarities in them. The basic difference is that the plant Brihathi is an erect, much branched, prickly shrub which reaches up to a height of about 1 to 2 meters, whereas the plant of Kantakari is a prostrate, diffuse, prickly herb which spreads on the ground. This slide shows the plants of Brihathi and Kantakari. You can see in these pictures that Brihathi is a erect shrub, whereas Kantakari spreads on the ground. Leaves. The Brihathi plant, it bears simple oval shaped leaves which are about 3 to 6 inches in length and 1 to 4 inches in width. The margin of the leaves is sinuate, or we can say these are wavy, or they are lobed. Sometimes they are lobed. The surface is entire, and the stem and the leaves, they are studded with minute hairs and spines, hooked spines. The presence of hard pointed spines on the midrib, this midrib of both the dorsal and ventral surface, this is the characteristic feature of the leaves of Brihathi, that is the presence of spines on the midrib. Coming to the Kantakari plant, this plant bears 5 to 10 leaves, and these leaves are oval to elliptical in shape. The margins are sinuate and the lamina is pinnatifid. Pinnatifid is the lamina is divided towards the midrib. The surface of the leaves is glaucous, or we can say shiny, and the midrib and the lateral veins, they all are studded with long pointed white spines. This is also the characteristic feature of Kantakari plant. This slide shows the leaves of Brihathi and Kantakari respectively. The characteristic feature of Brihathi leaves is that its margin is wavy in nature, whereas the leaves of Kantakari, they are sinuated, or we can say the lamina is pinnatifid. Flowering of these plants. Both the plants, they bear pentapetalous flowers, that is, which means they have 5 petals. And on the basis of the flower color, there are 2 types of Brihathi or Kantakari plant. Some plant, they bears white colored flower, and some bears purple to pinkish color flower. It depends on the variety of that particular plant. For example, the Brihathi plant, botanically, which is Solanum indicum, it bears pinkish to purple color flowers, whereas the another variety of Brihathi, which is Solanum torvum, it bears white colored flowers. And the flowers in both the cases, they occur in axillary clusters, that is, they occur in groups. The flowers of Kantakari is also characterized by the presence of a persistent calyx which has many prickles on it. Also, the gynoecium and androecium in both these plants, they are tubular and yellow colored. This slide shows the flowers of Brihathi and Kantakari, both the varieties of, that is Shwetant, the purple and pinkish color flowers. The fruiting pattern in Brihathi and Kantakari plant. In both these plants, the shape of the fruit is globose, and this is berry type of fruit is there. And these berries are green when they are in unripe condition, and they turns to yellow orange on maturity. The fruit of Brihathi, they are smaller in size in comparison to the Kantakari fruit, and they appears in axillary clusters. Whereas the Kantakari fruit is slightly bigger in size and has variegated or striped surface. The surface is smooth and variegated. And the calyx of the fruit, it bears many spines in case of Kantakari, which is absent in the Brihathi plant. These are the fruits of Brihathi and Kantakari, and we can clearly see the differentiating pattern in these fruits. That is, the Kantakari fruit, it is smooth and variegated in appearance, and it bears the spines, white colored spines, long spines on the calyx, whereas both the feature, they are absent in the fruit of Brihathi. Flowering and fruiting pattern. The Brihathi plant, it bears fruit in the month of March and April, whereas in Kantakari, the flowering month is January to June. The Brihathi plant, it bears fruit in May to October, and the Kantakari plant, it bears fruit from January to June. Sowing the seeds and the stem cuttings, they are the easiest method for the regeneration of these two plants. Raspanchak. It is clearly visible in the slide that the Raspanchak of Brihathi and Kantakari, that is similar. We can say that Brihathi and Kantakari, they are similar in Raspanchak because they have Laghu and Ruksh gun. Kantakari is slightly Ushna too, and both these plants, they are Katu and thick Taras predominant. They have Katu Vipak and Ushna Virya, and both subsides the aggravated Vat and Kaph dosh. Chemical constituents. As we know that both the plants Brihathi and Kantakari, they are morphologically similar and they belongs to the same family. So the secondary compounds in both the plants are somewhat similar in origin. For example, the alkaloids, they are present in both these plants. The famous alkaloids are solanine, solanidine, diosgenin, solacidine, solanocarpine, and these are present especially in the roots of Brihathi and Kantakari. These alkaloid compounds, they are the chief constituents which are responsible for the pharmacological activity of both these plants. Besides the alkaloids, some glycosides, sterol compounds, saponins, flavonoids, amino acids, fatty acids are also present. The ash of both these compounds, they contain diuretic substances, potassium nitrate, sulfates and carbonates. This slide shows the shlok of Brihathi and Kantakari, which is quoted in Guruchyati work of Bhavprakash Nighantu. In this shlok, we can clearly see that the karma and indications of both these plants are mentioned. And we are going to discuss those karma and indications in details in the upcoming slides. Karma or the action of the plants. Brihathi and Kantakari, these are the drug of choices in respiratory tract diseases. Owing to their Kanthe, Kashar, Swashar, Hikka Nigrahan and Shothar karma. These karmas are related to the respiratory tract. Because of the Katuvipak and Ushnavirya properties, Brihathi and Kantakari, they both acts well in the digestive system or on the digestive tract disorders because they are Deepan, Pachan, Rochak, Sangrahi, Rechan in properties. Both these drugs, they are also Jwaragna, antipyretic in action, Krimigna, Garbhashya Sankochak, they are Vednahar, painkiller and also diuretic in actions, Mutral. Indications. In ethnomedicines, Brihathi and Kantakari, they both are widely used in respiratory tract disorders, inflammatory disorders, digestive disorders, skin diseases, and in the diseases of aggravated Vat. Its avlehe or the syrup, they are used in Kas, Swas, Parshvashul, common cold, rhinitis, pneumonia, bronchitis, and dyspnea, catral fevers, swarbhed, which is also known as tonsillitis or stomatitis, hoarseness of voice, and many other respiratory tract infection. Brihathi is also used in Agnimande, Amdosh, Aruchi, Asyavarasya. Asyavarasya is tastelessness, Vatvikar, worm infestations, Hriday Rog, Shot, Shul, Grihini, and many skin diseases like urticaria, Sutika Rog. These are the diseases which are related to the post-delivery, vaginal infections, and in cases of infertility, both male and female infertility. Kantakari is also prescribed in neuritis, which is known as Nadishul. Sheetpit, it is a form of skin disease which is comparable to urticaria. Krimidant, that is dental caries. In Pramehe, Stholya, obesity. In Arsh, Pandurok, Amvat, and it is used as a Garbhasthapak Dravya in Punsavan Sanskar. Parts use. The root, fruit and leaves, and sometimes the leaves, they are the officinal parts which are used for Brihathi and Kantakari, and these parts, they are used in the form of powder or decoction. The powder, in both the cases, it can be used in the dose of 3 to 6 grams, whereas a decoction is prescribed in dosage of 50 to 100 ml. Formulations. Dashmula-Rejt and Dashmul-Quat, these are the common formulations for both Brihathi and Kantakari. Brihatyadi-Quat, Brihatyadi-Gand, they are the specific formulations which are available for Brihathi. Kantakari is also available in Vyagri Haritki, Vyagri Tel, Kantakari Ghrit and Nidiktikadi Kwat. Therapeutic uses of Brahati. In Aruchi, Brahati fruit is cooked as vegetable and then it is consumed daily with curd, adding some spices, and this type of vegetable, it increases the appetite in Aruchi. In cattle fevers or the jwar, cattle fevers are viral infections which are associated with fever and cold. Powdered Brahati fal, pipli and sunthi, they are used as a Nasya drug. In Grihani Rog, which is characterized by disturbed digestion, Brahati fruit powder is advised to drink with buttermilk. Buttermilk is takr. You can use this formulation daily. In chronic cas and breathlessness, intake of steam boiled Brahati fruit, which is processed with grit and mixed with sendhav lavan, this formulation is recommended to use daily. Brahati is also used as a punsavan drug. It is a Brahati plant is popular for this action. In early pregnancy, so as to give birth to male child, it is advised to take nasse of white flowered Brahati root. The powder of this white flowered Brahati root is mixed with milk, and it is when it is instilled in the right nostril, it is supposed that the lady or the mother, it will give birth to a male child. And if the mother wants a female child, then this Brahati root powder is advised to instilled in the left nostril of the mother. Therapeutic uses of Kantakari. Kantakari is used as a Garbhasthapak Dravya. For Garbhasthapana or for maintaining the pregnancy, intake of fresh root powder, root paste with milk on the 4th day of menses is recommended, and it will surely help in attaining pregnancy. In cas, chronic cas rather, asthma, rhinitis, or in the conditions of upper respiratory tract infections, Kantakari Panchang Swaras, which is extracted out by the Putpak Vidhi, it is used or mixed with pipli powder and is advised to consume daily. Also, the daily recommendation or administration of the decoction of Kantakari, Guduchi, Sunthi mixed with some pipli powder also helps in subsiding the chronic cough conditions. In Tamak Shwas, Kantakari and Hingu powder is advised to take in a ratio of 2:1 with honey for 3 days to subside the symptoms of Tamak Shwas. In stomatitis or Mukhpak, it is advised to use gandush of Kantakari Mool Kwat, or the decoction of Kantakari Mool is used as a gandush dravya. In many inflammatory conditions such as the Amvat, Sandhivat, Katishul, backache condition, neuralgia, local application of lukewarm paste of Kantakari leaves, it gives relief. And finally, thanks for your patience hearing.